Hey guys, Mike here. So today we get to answer all your questions, look at some comments, and I do want to thank you for submitting them. And you asked some really good questions this week, so I'm gonna do the best I can, and then depend on you to try to participate and answer the rest of them. And so I want to start off by first saying, because I really don't ask for this stuff or anything, but I do want to thank this viewer right here for a super chat, whatever they call this thing. You've never heard me even talk about it or anything, but I really do appreciate that and the extra love. Now, first one from Master Wizard here says, thoughts on Square. Sure, I have some thoughts on Square. Obviously, if we go to the chart here, you can see huge move up on earnings, right? So now you got these two gaps right here, RTH gaps. That don't need to be filled necessarily, right? RSI above the 50, that's bullish. Is on the daily, by the way. You can see, I mean, just look how oversold this thing has been. Ugh, just a hot mess. And we'll take a view out to see the damage on this chart. Look for that MACD to move above the zero. That's when you know you're really bullish and getting a lot of participation for sure. And the momentum's really shifted. And this right here, again, this is the 30-week moving average. We thought it was basing out. We were going to move into a stage 2 from a stage 1, and then it just started selling off. And not just Square, but fintech in general is one of those sectors that just got destroyed. And you're thinking to yourself, what are you talking about? The whole sector is just Square. And I'm like, no, because look, if we look at this, you want to get above a 30-week moving average first of all. Don't let me get distracted here. To sit there and start to say, okay, now maybe we're fine moving into stage 2. But when you pull up PayPal, it's the identical chart. I mean, look at this right here. You can see it. And so, it's not just Square. Look at that. That looks like an identical chart, right? And so whether you're Square, PayPal, SoFi, was it Affirm, Upstart, all of them just got hammered as a sector. And so, now what's happening? PayPal's getting a bounce off earnings. Square's getting a bounce off earnings. So all these stocks are getting bounces and stuff. So it's not just a Square problem. I will tell you this though. One thing Square has, the rest of them don't have, that needs to happen is it needs to reattach itself to Bitcoin. I personally don't keep up with Square. I'm assuming they still have their Bitcoin, did not sell out. And just like MIST, I believe it is, who owns a lot of Bitcoin, used to, it was perfect. The charts match up perfectly, as you can see, right? And then all of a sudden, 2023 hits and Bitcoin says, see you later. We're going up around 81%. And Square said, I'm going to go the opposite direction and drop another 39. All right. And so I don't know what happened there. I'm assuming they still own their Bitcoin. Please put in the comments if I'm wrong on that. But if they do, it would make sense if they sold. Maybe that's why all of a sudden, it didn't happen. But I'd be shocked if they sold at the bottom, for crying out loud. That would be stupid. But then again, I could be wrong. But that's what needs to happen if they still own the Bitcoin. So just FYI on that. And, one thing is, I'm going to do a whole video on this. I'm not going to get into this here. But get rid of this. Get this out of your head. That, if I buy it here, we're going back up to this. I'm going to do a whole members video on this and show the members something about this. I'm just going to stop now because I'll start going on a tirade about it. But, yeah, just get that out of your head that's going back there, okay? Now, next one comes from Emerald here. It says, how high will Tesla's price be after its earnings report in 2024? I have no idea, and I don't think anybody really does. I know nobody does, because we don't know what's going to happen next year, right? According to Elon, there's probably going to be a recession. Most people, and I agree, that puts it in the second quarter. First, second quarter of a recession, maybe. If it happens, we don't know what the extreme is. But let's remember, what is Tesla's number one generator of income? It's cars. Now, I wish they would have been around long enough for me to show you this, but I just brought forward, don't matter which one you bring up. But if we do hit like a real recession, guess what? The stock's going down. That's just the way it is, because people don't buy cars in recessions. Not real recession. And this is one of his big concerns, right? And so, again, it had been long enough for me to pull this up. I can pull up 2020 for you, but that's when we shut down the world. And so if it's a real recession, the stock will go down. If we don't have a recession, everything's good, then we'll see what Tesla is at that point in time, obviously. And we know Tesla's what? It's a high beta stock that moves up and down like crazy. And so again, we'll see. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Now, good comment here from Mark. Says, so many blackout ending for companies, so lots of buyback potential that will make the algorithms buy with the upward momentum like we've had. I think we got a little more bump before the next dump. Small banks, credit unions are in bad shape with defaults and all that good stuff. Very true, and he's right about the buybacks. Now, understand, the big thing about buybacks here, a lot of people don't get, and the reason why companies do it, one of the reasons, is because it helps them with their earnings per share. And so this is a percentage of S&P 500 companies that boosted their earnings per share at least 4% just through buybacks. And you can see right there. That's a lot, right? The other reasons are to make their stockholders, especially their executives, very rich. Now, Apple alone, if you didn't see my yesterday's video, look at this. They have bought $573 billion worth of stock back. To put that in context, that is more, as you can see right here, than Tesla and Nvidia have made in their existence. Total revenue. That's more revenue than those companies have ever seen. That's just money they use to buy back stock. I'm talking about from Apple, right? It's twice as much as Google's total revenue last year. It's actually 4 total years, the last 4 years, of Meta's total revenue. Okay, and so that's why Apple gets treated differently. But the stock buybacks are to help with EPS. You ever notice I don't think they've ever missed EPS, to be honest with you. So you can imagine the amount of stock they're buying back, what it does for their earnings per share, what it does to make their executives rich and never leave, what it does to attract investors and everything. And so, yes, that's about to be unleashed from a lot of different companies, okay? They're following the Apple playbook. Now, and guys, before we continue, if you're getting anything out of this, please hit that thumbs up down there. I really appreciate it. And if you like the material here and the videos, think about subscribing. Mike, in case you know what hits the fan, what's the difference between VIXI and SQQQ? Which is more investable? Looking at this right here, I'm no expert on either one of these, so feel free to jump in here at any point in time. But when I just pull up the chart, I understand what you're doing here. One's for the VIX, right? So that tracks the S&P more as the volatility, right? When you look at this, to me, I find it's impossible to chart, to be honest with you. Some of you guys may be successful at this, and it's the VIX. It's all over the place. How many times have you seen, just in the last 2 years, the market's going up, the S&P is going up, and the VIX is going up with it? Right? Or the S&P dropping, and yet the VIX is dropping with it, right? And so when you pull up, though, the SQQ, to me, this is chartable, right? Because why? It's following the Qs. It's just the inverse of the Qs, right? And what I mean the inverse of the Qs, if I pull up the Qs here, and by the way, none of these are long-term investments, by the way. I hope nobody is mistaken for that. No, these are shorter-term time frames, like really shorter-term time frames. And so when you look at that, that's what I'm talking about. It's just the inverse of the QQQ. So at least you can chart that, or you can chart the Qs and basically just base your buys off of the Qs for, again, like a swing trade or something. But as far as I know, and I've always been taught, these aren't the kind of things you go into long term. Again, the comments, feel free to share your experience and things like that, just because of decay and everything like that. But just FYI. So hope that helps out, and feel free to help them out in the comments as well, guys. Now, speaking of the VIX, where can I find the VIX/VIX3 chart that I used the other day, right? I used this to show you guys this. I got trade views. If you got trade view, you just go up here, and all you're going to do is type in VIX divided by VIX3M right there, and then it should pop up right here, as you can see. And then I just put those boxes in myself and the trend lines in, right? The support resistance level and things like that. And so it just gives me an idea of where we're at and everything, and when maybe we're going to get a pullback, or maybe we're going to get a pop-up, that kind of stuff. So hope that helps out with you. Now, the next one says, can someone explain what fair value gaps are? And I have spent a lot of time with the members trying to explain this, and obviously I'm doing a piss poor job, I guess. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to keep this extremely elementary type simple, okay? There's candles on a chart, right? They have wicks, they have bodies. It's a 3-candle sequence. See the candle right there to the left. See this candle. See that candle. There's 3 candles. The question is, this candle right here, is its entire body covered up by that candle's body or wick, or by this candle's body or wick, or by both? Or is it not? What do you think? The answer is not, right? So this is a fair value gap. It's when there's a imbalance between buy and sell orders. In this case, it was the more buy orders than sell orders, okay? And so that's what happened. And you get them on these big moves up, right? Like we've got a bunch of them this last 4 days. And so right here, what do you see? Like this right here, you can see the 3-candle sequence. Is the one in the middle is its body completely covered up by the one on the left or right, or a combination? The answer is yes. You come down here, 3-candle sequence. Is the big one in the middle, is its body covered up by the candle preceding it or the candle after it, right? And it could be the wick or body. The answer is no. Now, if you have a problem spotting these, type in FVG, right? I like to use this one, right? You click on that, and it'll detect them for you. It's not 100% perfect, but I'm not going to click on that because it'll change my settings. But if I go here, now all of a sudden you see those shaded areas, those 2 things I was just talking to you about? Those are fair value gaps. It spots it for you. Okay? Now, not to make things too complicated here, but you'll look on here and go, well, maybe, Mike, I don't understand. Some of these candles aren't highlighted. right? Like this one right here. Why is that not a fair value gap? Well, what you have to do down here in the corner, right? You look over here, there's RTH. We're in regular trading hours. That's the first candle of the day. If you go to extended trading hours, because there's pre-market, right? So there is a candle to the left of this. You just can't see it in regular trading hours. And we come over, this is what we're talking about right here. And so all of a sudden, this is a 1 hour chart. So that's your 9 to 10, right? There's the candle before it, because these aren't 30 minutes. So you have a small fair value gap right there. See, it's highlighted because in the middle, the candle to the left and the candle to the right did not completely cover up that candle's body, right? So that is a fair value gap. So hopefully you understand it's just an imbalance. That's all it is. The market searches these things out to mitigate them. They're looking for liquidity. And so hopefully that helps. Please let me know in the comments. And it gets way more complicated than that. I'm just trying to keep it as basic as I can. But if you ever learn them, it'll change how you look at charts forever, okay? Now, next one, what does high beta mean? Because I get this, people seem to get offended if I say, oh, this high beta stuff over here went up, or this high beta stuff. All that means is it's just a volatile stock, right? And you can read the textbook definition all you want right there, right? A beta greater than 1.0 suggests the stock's more volatile, and less indicates lower volatility. Like Kathy Woods, most of her stuff is all high beta, right? I mean, Roku going up 30% in a day. DraftKings will go up 20% in a day. Guess what? Target ain't doing that, okay? A lot of stocks ain't doing that. But those are high beta. They can go up 50% in 2 days. That's just not going to happen for the majority of stocks, okay? And most of these are obviously tech stocks where this happens, right? And so that's why Tesla can go on these crazy runs, man. Like, you know, when it went from 101 to, what was it, 200 in like a week or something, you know, almost 100% up. That's why, okay? And so it's not putting down a stock. I'm just literally telling you it's a volatile stock, right? Which those are the kind of stocks traders love more than anything else. And so, because they can make a lot of money off those stocks because of the big swings. Now, next one comes from Robert. When does that data come out, whether or not people have been paying their student loans on time? I would say it's going to be quite a while, Robert, and maybe December at the earliest, because we literally just started paying back in October. I just started paying mine back in October, right? And so I'm more interested to know if they come up with a percentage of people that started paying back, but I also want to know, like, because again, it's not going to be on time, because remember, you're going to have grace periods, right? This is a form of liquidity, secret liquidity, put out by DC, right? Because they say, oh, we'll give you 12 months. It's kind of on-board process. And so if you want to, you want to, but if it's late, again, it's not considered late. It's not supposed to hurt your credit or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. I think it'd be hard to come up with that kind of data, wouldn't it? If it's not really a late payment. So yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. To end this on a high note, I do get a lot of these comments, and I'm really grateful to each and every one of you. And I chose this one because I was talking about a question which says, hey, how'd you get into YouTube? And I told you guys, and it says, I really hope your life has improved because you have improved mine. The first thing I do every day when I come home from my slave job is watch your video. Love you, brother. And I'm truly grateful for that comment. I'm grateful for all the comments, because trust me, my wife loves them just as much as I do, and all your support. If I don't, again, I'm a one-man army, so if I don't comment back to you, if somebody's hearting your comment, that's me, okay? I'm just letting you know now, that's me. And so I really greatly appreciate it, and I know how lucky I am to have all your support. And I really do hope you get some out of this channel and learning stuff and everything. And I definitely feel your pain when you say you're going to a job you don't like. I've been there on multiple jobs, playing the bathroom game, where you hide in the bathroom as long as you can, or you just looking at your watch all the time, like every 5 minutes, like I'm almost done here, and hopefully that'll change for you. I really do hope that changed for you, and you move on to something better. And I always tell people, look, if a guy like me from a small town, Alabama, it was supposed to be in jail or dead, can sit here and somehow work out and get, work the way and get 3 degrees and have a happy life and stuff. I mean, and getting laid off and start this and all that good stuff. And trust me, you can as well. I promise. Again, I always say, ain't nothing special about this guy right here. I got a regular IQ, regular memory. I do work hard, but there's nothing. I'm not Einstein, or there's just nothing. I'm just a normal, everyday guy, right? And so, anyway, hope you guys got some out of this. Again, appreciate all your support and everything. And looks like you guys are liking the Saturday videos, so we'll keep doing it. And I really like them because I get to learn stuff too. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Please hit that like and subscribe button, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.